What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be taking a look at another Jones product. It's right here. It's the loop bars, but this time they're made out of carbon. So I've had my LWB for almost a year and a half now, but before that, I still use Jones bars on a few different bikes, specifically the loop. There are other versions, but specifically the loop, which I think is the most popular version that he sells of the H bars. Probably 3 months ago or so, they sent me these carbon bars to try out. Now the loops come in basically 5 different variations. You've got in the 1/2 inch rise, you've got your straight gauge aluminum, the butted, and then as well you've got the carbon and then titanium version as well. And then you've got the 2.5-inch rise, which is also available in the straight gauge. I have loved the versions that I've had. I think I've only actually ever ridden the straight gauge. That's what comes stock on the complete bikes, and that's just the versions I've received in the past or bought in the past. I am not everyone though, and so having these options, I think it resolves a few issues that some people might have with the cheapest version, the straight gauge, which is around 90 bucks usually. So the first thing with these bars is the weight. These are significantly lighter. And I think that's actually going to be a big thing because as I have spoken with people about Jones bikes in general, the most frequent hesitation I see from people is the weight, that the overall bike is fairly heavy. It rides lighter than you would think, and I think if you're getting a Jones bike, you're not necessarily caring that much about the weight, but if you do, these are so much lighter. In fact, they are so light that when I got the box, I felt like there was nothing in it. So these come in at 275 grams. So very lightweight, especially for how much is going on with them. 275 grams. For comparison, the butted bars are, I think, 250 grams more, and the straight gauge ones are 350 grams more. So you're almost a full pound of weight just in the bars that you can lose by switching to the carbon version. So right off the bat, that is a pretty major weight difference, especially for the difference in the cost. If you're someone who focuses on weight, then you probably know there's kind of this principle of how much are you spending to lose a certain number of grams. This is a pretty good bang for your buck, given that the butted bars are like around 140, 150 bucks, and these are 350. But 200 bucks to lose a full pound, that's quite a bit. Do I care about weight? No, I don't really at all. I mean, if this weighed 50 pounds, I would probably care, but it doesn't. So I'm good there, but a lot of people do care about that. So what are the things that I do care about? What would make it worth that price differential? One of the biggest things is actually just the overall ride feel. Carbon is really well known for taking kind of the edge and the minor vibrations out of things, as long as it's laid up well and designed well. And I found that's super true with these. I don't feel nearly as much of the trail chatter. Obviously, it's still reduced a lot by the big tires, but you're still gonna get some through that naturally. It's a rigid bike. However, I have noticed a difference with these bars. So that's a great thing for someone who is sensitive to that. If your hands are going numb from the minor vibrations, this can really reduce that in a significant way. The other thing that's been very noticeable is the way that carbon feels in the cold versus a titanium or the alloy bars. It doesn't feel nearly as cold, and it heats up faster when you do put your hands on it. Even the other day I was riding and it wasn't that cold outside. I want to say it was 40, 45 with some winds, and I was pretty cold. I didn't have gloves on, but when I went and put my bare hands on the bars, because it was sunny, the bars were actually fairly warm already. And that principle is actually still true even with grips. They can do some insulating to keep your hands warm with gloves on, even that type of thing, but it's still gonna transfer through. Go stick your hand with gloves on your car in the cold, and then go stick it on, I don't know, a piece of wood. And eventually the one that's on the metal is gonna feel colder. So there is a difference there as well in the way that it feels, which is great. One final thing that I think some people might really like is that the carbon bar is the only one that is available in two different clamp sizes. It's available in the standard 31.8, the most common, but you can also get it in a 35 millimeter if you are someone who likes that, likes the stiffness of it, or that's just the stem you happen to run. You can get the carbon bar with a 35 millimeter clamping diameter. It runs you about 25 bucks more. It's $375. But if you're going carbon and you're gonna spring for these bars anyway, you can get that with the clamp size that you want. That's really all I've got on these bars. They're very straightforward, very simple. Of course, I love the sweep and the way my hands reach and everything like that. I'm gonna like that. It's the exact same design as the other ones. It's just a different material. It's much lighter. It has some of those characteristics that I talked about. So if you're someone who cares about weight, or you're really sensitive to the temperature of it, or you want a bigger clamp, I think this is a really great solution. $350 is a lot, but again, it's a well-designed bar. And if you like it, then it's probably worth the investment, especially if you are looking on those weight savings. Like I said, that's not a huge investment to save a full pound of weight. But anyway, if you have any questions that I didn't answer in here, let me know down in the comments. I'll try to get to those. But thanks to Jones for sending these out for me to test out. I didn't think I was really gonna notice a difference, but I did. There was actually a difference. But anyway, if you wanna see more videos from me, you wanna support me, you can subscribe, you can leave a super thanks, which is like a donation through YouTube, or buy some stickers and let me know down in the comments what else you might wanna see from me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.